That wasn't half bad. That wasn't half bad, you know. No,
When
that
you
was all
said
right.
when you said his voice, I forgot you listened to a dub, so I was a bit worried then.
Oh
A bit
my
racist. I
god,
thought I was
Yeah,
doing a racist thing
I
as
was
well. Yeah.
so worried.
that's crazy. That's crazy. Hello and welcome to the CineLads Letterboxd 250 podcast. I'm your host, Big Sheez, aka Sheezy Suzumiya, and I'm joined today by
Simon.
Well,
oh great guys, 7 episodes in and still a fresh joke. We love to see it. As you guys can see, Kyle has returned from his pilgrimage to Israel, and he is now back
Oh,
on the
get out of
pod.
here. Get out of here, man.
That's what they said to you. That's what they said
we'll,
to you when you were there.
I will bleep it. We'll bleep that out. Bleep that out.
You know when he touched that great wall, they went, "Get the fuck out of here."
Man, I'm not shy, man.
But listen, Carl, have you?
Oh, wait, hold on. Let's round of applause. Congratulations. Very good culture reference there. Thank you.
Whoa! Wobbly, 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 uh-oh.
No,
Can we
none of
clear
our
that?
audience, none of the letterbox audience will know who Shine is.
You know the worst part is, if we clear that, we have to pay Diddy. You guys know that, right?
Wow. We'll
You
bleep
clear
that out
that
too,
out
man.
of Yo, bleed that shit out too. Your free puff. But anyway,
What?
back to
Okay, we're not bleeping that out. We're not bleeping it. Congrats.
yeah.
Congrats. We're not bleeping that.
Fuck.
We're not
All right,
bleeping that. We're not bleeping
Kyle,
that.
do you want to give us an update of where you've been since the last time we've seen you?
Um, what happened to me this time? Did I fall up through the ceiling, or was I ill for the week, or was that just a back-to-back combo that life tried to throw at me?
They don't know you were ill,
No.
and they don't know you fell through the ceiling either.
Oh, well, either way, I was ill, and I messaged Sherrick day of the podcast that I wouldn't be there, and I said, "Come on, you Spurs," because it was Spurs Arsenal. And I've rewatched the footage, and that's not what you said on the pod, Sherrick. So I'm a bit annoyed.
Come on, you Gunners! All right. Anyway,
Yeah.
back to more.
Anti-football team.
Listen, back to
Uh,
more actual pressing matters. What did you think of Quaden? If you want to give your quick opinion.
um, so when life had blessed me with full health once again, I realised there's better ways to spend life than watching that piece of shit. I will admit, before we get to like the 250, I will finish it. I had like an hour and a half left, but I've just been catching up with other stuff, like going to the gym and going to the cinema. Give me a couple of weeks and I'll finish it. But
We're gonna
let's just
we're gonna
say
keep checking in. We're gonna keep
I
checking
don't
in
want
week
to
by
finish
week
it.
to see how
Yeah.
far you've got with Quaden.
This will be it. Let's just say the fact I don't want to go back to it speaks volumes. So
I mean, yeah, me and Simon were very clear in our opinions about that film as well. So anyway, this week, guys, we are talking about 2010's The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya. It was directed by Yasu. Oh, flipping! I'm not gonna do this. It was directed by Yasuhiro Tahamoto and Tatsuya Ishihara. Now, as you guys know, every week we spin the wheel to see who's going to be giving us a quick plot breakdown. Spoiler warning, guys, we're going to be talking about everything to do with the show, everything to do with the movie. I might touch on the manga. Who knows? Who knows, right? And this week, to give us our breakdown in, it's almost a 3 hour film, so you know what? I'll give you 30 seconds. To give us our 30 seconds breakdown is Kyle Carragher.
um, do you want me to be honest? I will cover the film later on. I have watched it, I promise, but I cannot give you a plot breakdown.
Well, you're already 10 seconds in, so no, nothing.
Um, the the Japanese version of It's a Wonderful Life. That's as good as you're gonna get from me because I didn't have a clue what went on. But
Simon, you're trying
did
to
that
tap
mean
in the last
Fair
10
enough.
seconds.
It's winter time. The group is split up, and Keon is trying to find
Uh,
Haruhi
we've
Suzumiya.
hit 30, we've hit 30. I was counting on my hands like the big boy that I am. Unfortunately, Simon, even when it's not your week, it's really not your week. So,
Arsenal's top of the league. It's always my week.
you know what I mean? Listen, so Here's the official Letterboxd synopsis. The tagline says, I'm gonna try to read it in his voice actually, because I've been hearing a lot of his voice for reasons you guys know. Am I happier in the world that had Haruhi in it, or the one where she disappeared? That wasn't half bad. That wasn't half bad, you know. No,
When
that
you
was all
said
right.
when you said his voice, I forgot you listened to a dub, so I was a bit worried then.
You're
Oh
a bit
yeah, I
racist. I
got
thought I was
Yeah,
doing a racist
that.
thing
I
as
was
well.
That's
Yeah.
so worried.
that's crazy. That's crazy. All right, so it goes a week before Christmas. Keon wakes up in a world where the SOS Brigade doesn't exist. Mikuru and Yuki don't recognize him, and Haruhi and Itsuki seem to have vanished. Which is, I think, kind of hits it straight on the head of the. I think out of all the synopsises we've done, this is probably the nicest, like, simplest one.
Straightforward.
So, before we go into the wider context before we go into the wider discussion about the film, like we normally do, I just want to give some more context to this. So, you guys haven't watched the show at all. You kind of just jumped into the film. I know you did, Kyle. Did you at all, Simon? Did you tap in the show or no?
No, I didn't watch the show. No way.
So,
Can I say, when we looked on the list on Letterboxd and I saw this was a film, there was no indication to me that this was a follow-up to a show. So I only knew when you said, "Oh, I've started the show as prep." I didn't have enough time to watch the show anyway, but I had no clue.
I think this is something we should address because there is a couple on the list that we're going to come to, like Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me and stuff like that, and I think Evangelion later on and stuff like that, where I think we'll do dealer's choice whether or not we watch the show. Something like Twin Peaks, I've always wanted to watch that show anyway, like properly. So I guess I will watch it beforehand. You know what I mean? And we'll work to it as and when. I think it's good having a mix of, some of us have watched the show, some of us haven't watched the show, and you have that context, you have that conversation around it. Here's some very quick, interesting things about the show. So I've seen the whole thing. It's like 28 episodes over 2 seasons. There's 4 to 5. I'm not 100% sure. I think there's four that I know for sure. Versions to watch, like ways to watch the show. So when it actually came out in Japan, like week after week, the original version of it, it came in like a different order. So like the first episode that they showed was actually episode like 27, and like in a weird way, and like some of it was shown in 2006, some of it was shown in 2009. Like it was done in this super weird order, but it has like this crazy devoted fan base, and it was quite early on. This is like Death Note days. This isn't like anime is not to that mainstream sort of level that it is now. You know what I mean? This is like back in the day when it's still a bit more like rarer for shows to break through. This show has an arc here called the Endless Eight, which is 8 episodes, which are exactly the same. So imagine you sat there, this is your favorite show, you watched it every week, yeah? Each episode's exactly the same plot wise. What happened? Because the characters are stuck in a time loop, like they're stuck in a summer break. It's like 2 weeks, and they're stuck in it. And it goes every other time. I watched all 8 of those episodes. It's done. It's not just the same episode shown to you 8 times. The plot's exactly the same, but they're like it's directed by different people. It's done in different ways, but it's the exact same episode 8 times in a row. It's insane. The show does a lot of like weird things like that. I found myself quite enjoying the show, and then when I went into the film, I enjoyed that as well. I just want to quickly ask before we get into a wider discussion about the film. How do you boys feel about anime in general? Simon, what's your thoughts on anime? What's your previous experience?
Anime's great. It's just Japanese animation. That's like, but it's that thing. Have you seen that meme? Thing, the face is just normal, and it says "Thing Japan," and the face lights up. That's how
That's
people treat anime. It's just Japanese animation. And it's just really great.
it's a it's
Arguably, arguably the greatest medium.
I see it's kind of different though in the sense of like I think where anime differs from like sort of traditional animation and stuff like stuff we grew up with. Anime is like a religion there almost, obviously. Like obviously we love animation, don't get me wrong. We grew up watching different cartoons and stuff like that. Of course we did. But the way it's serialized, the way it comes out, the way it's done. Like I know people who like love One Piece, for example, and I'm sure it's a great show, but like I don't really have it in me to jump on 1,200 episodes. You know what I mean? And there's all these other kinds of. Did you ever have that growing up where you were like you locked in with the anime? Like I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! And I watched like some other animes here and there, but I was never like I don't think I ever watched like a full arc of Dragon Ball Z. Do you know what I mean? But it was on in the background. I might just like tap in. One of those type of things. What about you,
Yeah.
Carl? What's your relationship with anime?
Yeah.
Well, it was funny you brought up Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I watched that as a kid as well. But as a kid, I don't know if I even knew the term anime. To me, it was just a cartoon that was on TV. As I've gotten older, I had a friend who tried to like put me on like a couple shows, but the clips he would show me would be like episode 837, and it would be a battle scene between two characters who I didn't know, and he'd be like, "Look how cool this is," and it'd be like me showing someone the final scene in like Avengers Endgame and be like, "Look how cool it is," and like, well, I haven't seen the other films, so I never really had a jumping point on like a jumping on point for a show. In terms of films, I've seen, is it Your Name? And I think I've seen one or two anime films, which I enjoyed. I liked all of them. Once again, I don't view it as anything different than just animation from a different country. But
Yeah.
but a lot of the shows like that I see like advertised don't appeal to me. But I also don't watch a lot of cartoons in general anymore.
Okay. So I'm glad we got to that baseline of the thing. So here's my thing when it comes to this film. I really want to hear disclaimer to all the fans, everyone who's watching the pod and everyone who's listening. We love you guys, by the way. Kyle texted us saying he can't wait to discuss this film. So I
Mhm.
really want to let him ISO just at this beginning part here. Kyle, what is it you want to talk about when it comes to this film?
So like you said, I didn't know there was a show until you brought it up. I hadn't seen the film yet, so it did give me a bit of like expectation that I'm not going to fully understand everything. So the film starts. I don't look up a synopsis either. I don't watch a trailer. I try not to do that whenever I watch a film. I try to like to go in blind. And the film starts, and I'm really enjoying it the first like 10, 15 minutes. But I'm like, is this just a teen school show? I didn't know there was any like supernatural sci-fi. I just thought like it was a film set at Christmas. And then 15 minutes in, obviously it takes this turn where it's like a parallel world or an alternate dimension or whatever. But obviously you're grieving characters that I don't know. So I don't know if there's any Doctor Who fans watching this. In my head, I was thinking this is like watching Turn Left, which is the best, one of the best episodes of Doctor Who.
I wrote that down. I
It
literally was
is,
gonna bring it up. It feels exactly like Turn Left.
and it's like watching Turn Left, but without knowing. So if you haven't seen Turn Left, basically, obviously by this point there's been four seasons of Doctor Who, and it shows significant events, but in a universe where the Doctor died before these events happened, and it shows how they went differently. Imagine watching that without knowing these events or who the Doctor is. But at the same time, I enjoyed it. I had a good time watching it, but I was missing that connection. But this is what I will say about the film. It made me want to watch the show. But the only issue was that, like, obviously, I can't call it a bad film because it's not a bad film. I was missing, like, I didn't understand a lot of what was going on because I feel like it was so dependent on what had come before, which is why I wanted to hear what Sharik was going to say. If I had seen the show, would this be like a 5 out of 5 film to me? Because it's like, oh, look how it all ties together. Because obviously there's that scene where he travels back in time, and it's like, oh, clearly this had been happened in the show, I'm assuming, and you're seeing it from a different perspective. And I couldn't get a lot of enjoyment out of that. But considering it was 2 hours 40, I thought it flew by. I thought the characters were enjoyable, and it made me want to watch the show. And did you say off air that the episodes are only like 20 minutes?
So yeah, the episodes are like 20 minutes each. What's funny about this film is it's still shorter than the Endless Eight, actually, funnily enough. That just played in my mind as I was watching it. Um they were gonna make this as like an arc for the TV show, so it would have been broken up into like 20-minute segments. As so the way the TV show works is there's like multiple arcs. It just adapts it from the mangas, from like the light novels. So the first arc of the show is like about 8 parts anyway. Like the very first one, the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya is 8 parts, and that's probably the longest one. That is probably about the length of this film as well. What's
Yeah.
funny about this film is, as a conclusion to the show, I think it does work as well. But also, you are 100% right. Of like, it does feel like Turn Left, and that same level of enthusiasm I had about Turn Left when you see like other characters and stuff from Doctor Who. You kind of have that here where you're like, oh my God, why are they acting? Well, like when Miss not Asahina, the girl comes back into school. I always forget her name now. But you know when she comes back and they're like, you tried to kill me. I saw the episode where she tried to kill him. You know what I mean? That was very early on in the run.
See,
So
I thought this was the girl from the club earlier, like because obviously I'd only
yeah.
met the characters in that one scene, and I hadn't got used to like the animate like they weren't distinguished enough like animation designs for me to remember who's who.
Wait.
Because
Sorry.
obviously I've
Just
only
a quick question. Simon, is he saying they all look the same to him?
you knew that was coming. You knew that was coming.
Nani?
And then because also like the ginger one's always walking around with someone, and I was like, oh, was she in the club earlier? And I don't think she is, as far as I'm aware.
She is Miss Asa me flipping out because
Not the
they
one who
because
goes
it
to the other school.
no the one that goes to the other school.
No, not the one that goes to the other
No,
school.
the one that goes to
Do
their
you remember?
school is that's Mrs. Ashimiya Ashimiya Asahina.
Asahina.
That's the one, Miss Asahina.
Simon would never forget her name.
What? They're all
But yeah,
children. What are you trying to say?
oh,
What are you trying
They're all
to say?
50. They're
but
all
yeah,
15 by the way. They're all 15.
Jesus
She's
Christ.
oh,
she's
Whoa.
14.
well,
Whoa.
the main characters are a bit of a freak in my opinion. Like at the first
Average Japanese anime character.
the
That
first 10 minutes, he was gooning all over the place, man.
oh Kia
When he
that
found, is
that's
he like that
crazy.
the whole show?
So when I started watching the show, right, I wanted to bring this up with you guys as well. And Simon, I really want to hear what you liked about the film as well. But I had to bring this up very quickly. So when I started watching the show, like you said, literally the exact reaction you had watching this film, I had that watching the show where I was like, oh, is this because I didn't really know anything about it. I was like, is it just going to be like a slice of life anime type thing? Is it just like, oh, it's a school type thing, whatever? And it's cool and
Because
I'm
the
watching
title's
it.
quite vague.
It's a very vague title. I'm watching it. I'm thinking, okay, cool. I'm enjoying it. Suddenly, Harumi starts squeezing up Shorty's teeth, being like, look how bouncy they are. What? And I'm like, oh, we're getting freaky. And I literally went, okay. I said, okay.
What?
No. Just because I was like, so it's a bit different. It's a bit different. You know what I mean? I was like, okay,
Oh,
let
okay.
me let me
Okay.
let me
Okay.
loosen my collar. And then and then there was a crazy like action sequence like with that girl later on, and it was like genuinely really good action. And I was like, oh, so it's really just a mix of a lot of different things. Realistically,
On
what you
that
care about
note,
the most in the
oh,
show,
sorry.
oh, you tried it. Realistically, you care the most about on this show, yeah, is the friendships and the groups and stuff you have there. But Simon, speaking of friendship, I would love to know what you think of this.
Well, you're in luck. You're in luck because I have absolutely nothing good to say about this film.
Oh my God,
Zero.
you got nothing good to share.
I have a whole list of negatives. On my positive, I just put nothing much nice to say. You guys have fun. That's what. If you ask me that first to go first, that's
Okay,
what I would say.
I guess me and
Because
Kyla.
like Kyle said, just to quickly, I was handicapped because I didn't bother to watch the show. So I went in here with like 90% of context not in mind, and the film pretty much didn't do anything to capture my attention. So back to you.
So as somebody who did watch the show, it works as like another arc of the show. That's what it really was. It doesn't feel. It feels different, I guess, in the way I was making some notes about what makes it feel more filmy, I guess, rather than just like what the show was. And I know a lot of animes nowadays they do this where they'll adapt an arc in a film just because you make more money that way. It's less, you can put it together into a whole thing, and it plays really well in Japan, plays really well overseas. It does this whole thing, right? My whole thing with this was I you can tell the film aspects. Like you see more of the school than you ever see. You see different places they never really go. And I was thinking, oh, they had new sets, but then I'm also like, oh, well, it's animated, so it's not really hard for them to have a new set. You know what I mean? Just draw one in, like do it that way. But it just feels like another arc of the show. But what's really good about it, and this is kind of where it gets into spoiler territory again. Everything that happens in the show like matters. I know it doesn't feel like as much as when you watch it. It feels like they're doing wacky adventures and they're making a movie or they're doing whatever. This film does a really good job of tying it all in. The reason why Yuki does what she does is because she's the only one who remembers the Endless Eight. The rest of them, they only remembered the one time, but they were in there for 15,832 loops, I want to say. I could be wrong on the final number, but it was definitely 15,800 and something. I can't remember if it's 32 or 34. But they have these loops that keep, obviously keep going in the endless eight again and again. She's the only one who remembers, even though she's like an alien robot. Hanging out with him, she's starting to develop feelings and stuff. It's going a bit mad. Miss Asahina as a time traveler, you see the older Mrs. Asahina pop in, like, I think maybe the fourth episode I watched of the whole overall show. And I thought, where the hell did she come from? And they never address it again. Like, she just pops up and she's like, I'm a time traveler. That whole thing of him 3 years ago, that, the John Smith bit that was so crucial to the film. You see the episode where he goes back. In the very first episode, they talk about, oh, she's crazy. She drew these signs on this football field. And you find out it was him. And it's very cool how it all works out and, it goes together. As somebody who just watched the whole show, I guess I appreciated it even more. There was that aspect of it. And if I take out the film, that aspect of it too, I really like because he complains the whole show, no matter what's going on. He's like, oh man, now we have to go make a movie. Oh, now we have to do this. And I really liked he was finally like, what, I pick it every time. I think there's a really beautiful message there about choosing life, about choosing your life and, living it and doing the thing. I thought that was really good. But obviously, that's with the context of everything I see in the film. Before we go into the negatives, anything else you want to say on the positives, Kyle?
No, I wanted to ask you a question. Do you know how you were saying there's a lot of stuff in the show that they don't address until the film? Did that make the show a frustrating watch?
No, you would be surprised because you think it would. You really think it would. But the nature of how the show is, and because each episode's only like about 20 minutes-ish, like it really vibes out. Like like when the future Mrs. Asahina pops up originally, you're just like, oh, like that's you know what I mean? Just like, oh, that's just I guess what happens in the show. Like, you know what I mean? So you don't question it past that. So it doesn't ruin anything. It just makes it better.
You're not sat there waiting for answers.
No, not at all. I guess this is the time Simon's been waiting for. It's your ISO now, pal. What did you not like about the film?
I'm just going to read off my list. Interject when you want. So number one, it's Christmas. All the boys are wearing scarves and coats, but all the schoolgirls are designed to come into school and walk around with knee-length socks. There is a genuine problem in anime with this kind of crap, man. Really literal problem. This is not normal, my God.
Happy International Women's Month, guys.
See, you see, this isn't performative. I didn't even know it was that day today.
Because every day is that day for us, pal. At the CineLads here, we love you. Why am I? That's a rock.
Simon,
why would you do that?
Simon's going to be an intimacy coordinator for anime.
All right, so
just hovering over the computer.
He's hovering over the computer. He's like, draw a fucking scarf right now. Draw a North Face puffer right now.
I'm watching you, Steve.
I would, yeah.
Right,
There's
so
even a moment.
number one,
I think you.
That was number one.
I think you. Yeah. Now 1.1. There's even a moment where Haruhi and they go back to the classroom, like the study break room and the computer. That scene. When she introduces herself back to them, she grabs Asahina, and in my English subtitles, it said, "This little girl with the big chest is Asahina's son."
She does that in the show. She does that in the show a lot. So it's implied. It's implied. They never tell you the exact age. They do a really good thing where they always go like, "Oh, it's 3 years ago," or it's whatever. They're in high school, and they're in the year before. They're in the year before graduate. I don't know if it's different in Japan and how it is to us. I don't know if they're like sixth form or if they're like year 10.
So she was doing that throughout the whole show then?
Yeah, she's doing that throughout the whole show. Miss Asahina's, I think, like a year younger than him. But she's a time traveler, so it's weird.
Goodness.
It's weird because she's a time traveler. It's like it's up and down.
It's what they say in anime. It's an old lady in a young girl's body, so it's actually not that thing. Goodness me. Anyway. Oh yeah, now seriously. Although that is serious as well, but now like more so about the story itself. I put it's boring, tediously introspective. It doesn't have without any payoff, in my opinion. But that's more so on my part because I went in without having watching the show, so I was kind of handicapped in that sense. So when they were doing the bait, when they go, oh, is it? It couldn't be. Oh, whatever. And then for almost 90 minutes, this happens as well. I put it down here. For almost 90 minutes, the film it takes for the film to get going, which is insane given there's a whole show before this film. A process of confusion and longing that's not convincing, throttles momentum. So the whole 2 hours were ultimately underwhelming for me. And then it doesn't help when the framework is equally tedious. Typical formulaic anime exposition. This is a heater. This is this is soup. It's windy outside. The amount of times they keep doing this in this film, and it's normal as well, typical throughout all animes. That's why they have so much filler in their shows. Like 600 episodes. We know for a fact, like 90% of that crap isn't worthwhile at all. And then character designs, full of typical and basic anime expressions. You can put this show or film, sorry, in a bag of other animes, anime TV shows, anime films. Shake it, put your hand in there, pick a random one out, and these characters wouldn't look out of place in any other anime film or TV show.
Simon.
The face, like the face expressions. Huh?
Go on, just say they all look the same. Go on.
I was
Not
waiting
that.
for it.
I said character expressions. I said character expressions. I said character expressions. I didn't say what they look like and whatever. I didn't say that. But yeah, they're just unconvincing character expressions as well. I didn't get the sense of like flipping. What's the word I'm looking for here? Danger. I didn't get the sense of danger or anything. It didn't feel palpable at all. So yeah, man, absolutely boring.
I have to say, I understand where you're coming from, right? Let's address that first.
And again, like I said, again, like 60% is my fault because I didn't bother to watch the show.
No, I was gonna say I disagree with the parts about the introspection and about it being slow. I find it to be quite like a fast moving 2 hours 40. I will say. Again, I've just come off the show, so I don't know if that's just me, but like I was kind of into it straight away from the beginning because it does feel like the show. It just kind of just goes straight in. I think Kyle's going to get a gong, maybe just go dong.
I couldn't listen to Simon's racist comments anymore. I'm putting my phone on charge.
I think the introspection was good because again, it mirrors his character development throughout. Again, you are right. I have got the context, but Kyle, who had just seen it, going into it fresh, I think he could still understand the character development. Also, you say it kind of meanders and is long and boring and like fillery at the middle. I think you need that
and
time.
Just typical anime, yeah. Cliches.
No, but
cliches.
no, but
typical,
see, I think you need that.
formulaic.
I think if he finds
Yeah,
his
but I
friends
watched it
super
100
quick,
times with these TV shows and films. Like I said, it feels you put these characters in another random anime, they wouldn't be out of place in the way they act, the way they move, the character design, the world building.
No, but that's tropes of the genre. You can't complain about tropes of the genre when it's within the medium itself. You know what I mean? It's built into the thing.
You can. But, okay, that just means anime inherently is limited then.
But
which is insane. That's what I said. It's just genres. No, you look at American animation. Rick and Morty and Toy Story aren't the same.
Well, Rick and Morty every episode. Rick and Morty follows the same story cycle. It follows the exact same
Rick and Morty and Toy Story aren't the same. Not Rick and Morty itself.
It all comes back to the fucking hero's journey. It's the same. It's the same plot. What are you talking about? Are you dense?
No,
I'm sorry. Like, what does Woody want? He wants to get rid of Buzz, right? What does Rick want? He wants to avenge his dead wife.
Does Rick? Okay. Does Rick and Morty and Toy Story look the same?
Visually, they look different.
There we go. You understand what I'm on about.
One's 3D CGI animation. How many shows look like Rick and Morty now? There's like 15 fake Rick and Morty clones. We've seen them. Solar opposites.
All right, then.
Shit and Morty, whatever the hell they call them. I don't know, man.
Name the Japanese equivalent of these two. That comparison I just made.
The Japanese equivalent of Rick and Morty. There's
no,
Rick and Morty
any.
anime.
Yeah.
Can I interject?
Please do.
Because I see both sides like Chanel. I think what Simon's trying to say is...
so good. This guy's so good. He came back with it here. Oh.
This is what I'm assuming that you're saying, Simon. Correct me if I'm wrong. like anime is a medium, it's a style of animation,
Exactly. It's just Japanese
but
animation.
animation in like everywhere else. So I think what he's saying is Toy Story and Rick and Morty, yes, they follow a hero's journey. I think what he's trying to say is the genre of like the medium of anime produces a lot of the same feeling shows and characters and archetypes and tropes. That's what I'm getting from. So I haven't seen enough anime to comment,
He
but
he's not
Yeah,
wrong. He's not wrong.
pretty much in that sense.
Yeah, he's
Because
not
look,
wrong in
you
that sense.
they're like Toy Story and Rick and Morty are both American. They're both like animation. One's like you said, more computer generated. The other one's more 2D, sorry, than
Yeah, I
3D.
guess so.
Pick a random Japanese like version of like any 3D. You'd be hard to find. Like the diversity of animation in anime or brackets Japanese animation compared to what we have in the West is not like that's what I mean.
No,
Like
no,
they
no,
have
no,
so
no, no,
much
no. But
stuff
this
that is so
is,
regurgitated
uh,
beyond the
uh,
framework of the storyline
yo,
itself.
I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish. But I have to say, Kanye, we're back. I never switched up on you. But anyway, he's a big listener of the
Yeah, we
pod.
know
He
you
comes
hate.
in. You
and
believe
I'm the one who
that?
went to Israel.
Listen, and, oh, you believe all of that. Listen, Kyle, what did you not like about this?
So once again, as Simon has said twice, I was handicapped because I hadn't seen the show. Um, but I feel like my issue with it is the issue that I have with a lot of sequels. And me and Sherrick, we've spoke about this before. I think since Empire Strikes Back, sequels have this tendency to think, let's split everyone up to give them like character development and up the stakes without even seeing the show. I loved the first 10 minutes and I was so excited to see where it was going. And obviously it does this like alternate dimension. Like I was sort of joking earlier, but it is almost like it's a Wonderful Life sort of story arc. But I was like, if I was a fan of the show, because obviously what they call the SOS Brigade.
Mhm.
I imagine the show is like an ensemble and it shows them all together on these adventures. Surely the least interesting thing you can do for a film is split them all up. Because like I do agree with Simon that it meanders for like a good while until it becomes a we're getting the band back together sort of film. And I like my favorite part was the first 10 minutes where it was like obviously because I didn't know what it was or where it was going when it was almost like a slice of life teen comedy. Um and yeah, like I just kind of wish the whole film was that. But I've read reviews on Letterboxd since, and people are calling this like a masterpiece. The people who love this film love this film.
I,
So
I
what
think a
do
lot of
I know?
people, I think a lot of people who love this film though are coming off of having seen the TV show. Like,
Yeah, so they view it as
yeah.
another episode where I'm viewing it as a film, and I just felt the film was at its best when everyone was together, and there wasn't enough of that.
So here's the thing. For me, it's hard to view it as just a film. I've tried to in my notes and things I've done. I've looked at it the same way we've looked at every other film that we've done as well. But again, I have just watched 28 episodes, you know what I mean, leading into this directly. And it does play like that as well. It plays like a continuation of the show. Even at the very beginning, the fact that it's in winter is because the last thing they do in the show is again because the chronological. It's also very weird with like the chronology of like what episode comes where, but it's just starting to get cold. Do you know what I mean? You know when he's talking to his cat, for example, and he's like, "Why don't you talk?" That was a thing that happened in the show where because Harui basically the premise of the show, which they don't really touch in the film, to be fair, I will say. But the thing with Harui is that like um for reasons that I never truly explained, she's got the power to reshape the universe, but she doesn't know she has it. It just goes off of based on her mood. She doesn't know that she has that. So that's why they try and keep her happy and that she forms the SOS Brigade to look for aliens, espers, and time travelers. Um and the joke is obviously that Yuki's an alien, Izuki's an Esper, and flipping Miss Arasima is a flipping time traveler. Do you know what I mean? So it's like the wacky adventures and like they're dealing with real paranormal stuff. She's like, I want to see paranormal, and they're like, come on, you know what I mean? They're like, you're not gonna see it because they're
But
dealing with it in the background.
can I also say they they mention obviously the adventures they went on throughout the show during the film.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, this is so low scale compared to the stories you talk about you went on.
The adventures that they go on, what I really liked, and this is a funny like thing to be like just I wrote this in my notes. I liked the fact that they mentioned episodes that I've seen. Do you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like, do you remember that time? Like, oh, we all fought this alien like off screen. You know, when he goes to it, he goes, oh, I've seen you stop a giant cricket. I'm like, yeah, I remember that. That was episode 7. They stopped a giant cricket in the
Yeah.
mindscape. Do you know what I mean? It's a weird show, but it works for what it is. And if you like that first 10 minutes, you will like the show. The show is a lot more fun and it's not as serious as this film gets. I will say I wrote a couple of things down. I know there's more negatives we want to touch. I'm going to see the overall rankings and ratings. Just a couple of points I quickly want to address. One, it's Ramadan. I'll be remiss if I didn't talk about the Islamic representation. They want to Harui wants to celebrate the birthday of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. A1. Proud of that one. That made me happy as a Muslim. A point that I wanted to bring up. I really hate Miss Asima. Like I just don't like her character. I find it very annoying. And I kind of hated her in the show as well.
Which one's that?
She's on who talks like this? Keon, where are you? Oh
Is that the
no.
ginger one?
Yeah, she talks like that, yeah. What pisses me off though, I think the only reason I don't like her, I know a lot of people like her as a character. The reason I don't like her particularly, so when we were all at college, right, when we were all at college originally, I'm not gonna say the name of the college, but the college that we all went to when we all met, right, at the very
Yeah,
first
yeah,
time,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I knew a girl, and Simon, I think you know the girl I'm talking about. I knew a girl who spoke like that with this like fake voice the whole time. She was like, "Oh my God, where are we gonna go?" And one time I heard her on the phone with the mom, and she's like, "Hello," and she dropped it, and it was like the most funniest shit. So every time I hear like that, "Where are we going?" and I'm like, and when I heard this voice, it's been like a year since it's been like over a decade since I've heard that voice, and I was like, "Oh my God," I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, did she take it from this surprisingly popular but still very low key TV show? Maybe she did. You know what I mean? So I just thought that was very funny. The film also, the central question about the film kind of reminded me of that Jay-Z quote of "Would you rather live dormant or die enormous?" You know what I mean? Like, does he want to live in this world where he's just like not really hanging out with the man them? Because listen, I love you boys. You know what I mean? I love the CineLads, and if they did this to me and they tried to break up the CineLads the way they tried to break up the SOS Brigade, shit, I'm pressing enter every time. Do you know what I mean? For the mandem. I love the homies. Unapologetically, I love the homies. I'm doing that shit. The scene with the computer was fire as well. That emotion that he managed to bring with his voice. When he breaks down, he's like, oh my God, like he sees it. I thought that was really cool. I also thought Asahina's words about when they look back on memory and how when you look back in the past, it's all just nostalgia after a certain point. I think that was actually a surprisingly deep like quote to pop in. Like people are trying to talk about this being like this really deep moving thing. I think it's deeper than we've mentioned. And the one thing I do want to talk about here is that I like the fact that he took control of his life and like the talk about moving forward and like, doing that stuff. I thought that was interesting. It's also not like a one of those. Like, it's not known for being like a super deep anime and like like this will change your existential, change your feelings on life type shit. It's not one of them, but
Time for the best part of the show. Where would we rank this in our version of the top 50, 250 list? Number 1 currently is Quo Vadis Ida. Number 2 is The King of Comedy. Number 3 is Macario. Number 4 is Napoleon 1927. Number 5 is Kwaidan. Number 6 is Moment of Innocence. So where would this go
I
among the rest?
I know where it'd go for me, but I don't know if you boys are gonna be happy with what I
Oh,
have to say.
but first, let's actually rate that 5 so it makes it easier.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go first since I hated it so much. 2,
Am I being stupid? Which one's Moment of Innocence?
Lab.
It's the bread and
Number,
the
it's the
filmmaker. It's the
French.
filmmaker, the one with the
Oh
filmmaker, and
yeah,
he's telling the
it's
story
the
of his own life.
Persian one. The Persian
Oh,
one.
yes,
The
yes, yes, yes.
prison with the flower pot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We filmed
yeah,
that
that one.
ages ago. I was so confused.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I gave it a 2 out of 5. Sharik,
I'm gonna go 4 out of 5. I think it's a great film, great show. Obviously, it's not as innovative as like some of the other anime stuff, and I've seen better. I would be remiss. I couldn't go higher than a 4, but it's a very strong 4.
yeah.
As someone who hasn't seen the show and still managed to enjoy it, I'm just going to give it 3 as like a surface level, like On Letterboxd, I just give stars now. I would give this a star. But if I had to give it a rating, I'd give it a three.
You mean a heart rather than a star?
Oh,
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No,
so
the brand.
two,
So where,
three, five. Yeah, two, three,
where's
five,
this
and the average
ranking?
comes out at 3.33333. So where this would go above My Moment of Innocence, it
Yeah.
would probably go because it's probably
I
what did
I
we
I
give Quiden? You remember? We
I'd
gave it
put it
two, did we?
above. Yeah, we get Quite was low. Quite was just above Moment of Innocence for us because we like the
So
second.
this would go at
We like
number
the second story.
five.
Really? No, it's not. It's
You
not
guys,
beating Call of Adis
wait.
Ada.
So okay, we didn't. Okay, so okay, let's start from the bottom. We didn't like A Moment of Innocence. We
No.
just about liked Quiden, me and Sharik.
No, we like one
Napoleon
segment.
927. Neither of you liked that one.
Yeah,
So this would go number four. This would be number four.
this should be above
No, so let's
Napoleon.
start from the top. It's got to be
Yeah,
above Napoleon.
I think it'd be
Yeah,
above
that's what I mean.
Macario.
Napoleon
No,
would
no,
drop
no, but
down. Napoleon would drop down to five.
no, but I'd say it's above Macario personally. If we just look at, take out the numbers, if we look at it the same way we look at the way we look at our the Kyle's bit where we do our own 250 list. If we just do it on pure votes, because there's three of us, I vote we put it above Macario, below King of Comedy, below it'd be three. I'd say three rather than four. That's where I'd put it.
This
I'm
this will be
agreeing.
third. This will be third.
This would be third because
Above
obviously more films we
Macario.
get, it might get moved. But right now, I'd say three with everything we've seen. Because we've seen some stinkers, and
Fair
this was
enough.
not a stinker for us, for me and Kyle anyway.
But what did we all enjoy Macario?
We all enjoyed
I thought it
Macario,
was
didn't we?
good. Yeah,
Yeah,
this one I didn't like.
They're neck and neck. Should we lock it in? I would put this third.
All right,
I'd put
bet.
it third, and he's outvoted
Melancholy
because it's two against one.
Haruhi Suzumiya.
Are we
We
gonna
got
hit
number
the?
three then.
Are we gonna hit the Harui dance? No, no. Deep cut for the show. That's for all my show heads out there.
I wonder what, because a lot of people are gonna like see this review who like love the show and love the film. I wonder the amount of abuse Simon's gonna get in the comments.
Especially because
You
it's
know,
anime and people are so,
they made a religion of this. Of Haruism, a big series. I did some research as I was like, because I take my job seriously, so I did some research on this, and the people made like a religion of this. I will say I love the theme as well. By the way, I love the that again. That's for my Harui heads out there.
I'm on
So
the fandom website page for this show, and you're right, it is actually a religion. It's a religion that appears in orbit based on around a high school student living in
that's
Japan.
good.
Fuck
Listen,
these
man.
people.
So this is the part of the show where each week one of us will nominate a random film. Could just be a film we like, one of our all-time favorites, a film we watched this week for the first time that maybe we enjoyed. Just give us an excuse to talk about something a bit different, and then we'll put it into our own 250 list. So in 250 episodes, when we get to the end, we'll have a really weird list of our favorite films. Since you guys wanted to throw me under the bus last week and pretend I supported Arsenal when I don't, I'm gonna go this week and I'm gonna pick a film. I think I realized we've gone like too mainstream. Like you guys have got like no taste. What have we gone for like Creed, Game Night? Why are we feeding why are we sucking on the tit of the corporations,
Yeah,
man?
that's both my picks,
Let's
by the way. Both of my picks. Thank you.
yeah.
I guess it's fuck
Let's
me.
let's go for an indie film. And should we go topical? That's not going to cause any
Oh,
controversy.
Tourette's. It's the Tourette's
Fever
thing, isn't
pitch.
it? He's 100%. Nah, he's doing. I swear.
Yeah, I'll go for I swear. Um,
No.
me and Simon, Sherrick, I don't think you've got around to watching this.
Cracker.
I don't
Sorry.
know if you plan on watching. Um, funnily
No.
enough, obviously the list changes week to week. We've locked in a list because it's just not going to be feasible to keep changing. I think currently it is in the 250 list. It's got a 4.3 on Letterboxd. Um, I watched it. I thought the trailer looked good. I wasn't expecting much, and I was just floored. I do love it like an old school, just British film like that. And I think usually actors take roles of disabled characters like trying to get awards. I never got the sense here, and I actually thought for someone with Tourette's, the lead performance, I wouldn't call it understated, but it wasn't as hammy as it could have been. And me and Simon have spoken. I said it. I thought it was the best performance of the year, over Chalamet and Leo, just because of what he's required to do, and just like I said, he doesn't go like he doesn't feel like he's trying to win an award. Um, and I just thought the story is just it's powerful, it's moving. It taught me a lot, but I didn't know. Like he doesn't develop Tourette's until he's like 10. I just assumed it was something he was always born with, which makes it even more harrowing. Like when you just think one day it's just something that could happen. Um, and I don't want to call it a feel good film because it's not, but I just feel like I'll call it moving. Simon, what did you think of the film?
I thought it was like Rosie's for me last year. Absolute surprise of a banger. You go in without expecting anything, and you come out saying, "Wow, that was pretty amazing." And like I think I also said at the time, like British cinema does really good with these types of films, like a slice of life, hard working class people stories and stuff like that. And everyone in this film is absolutely believable. The community center head, his parents, his friends, him himself as well. Like his performance of like someone with a disability was, I actually thought he had Tourette's for a minute in that film. So yeah,
The
proper
young
banger.
version as well, who's only
Oh,
in the film.
I forgot to mention that as well. Yeah, another banger from a child actor.
And I give it credit as well. It never feels like it's trying to manipulate you into crying. I don't think, when people win awards and they always have like the one scene that they show. There's not
Yeah.
that scene in this film, which I think is to its credit. But yeah, it's being added to Netflix on the 10th of March, I believe. If you haven't seen it yet, I advise watching it. Sherrick, do you have any plans of watching it, or have
I
you been put off by the?
by the controversy. So I'll be honest with you. All jokes aside, you guys, so your opinions, as you guys know, I do take very seriously, and like I do take your recommendations very seriously. I've added it to my list. When it comes on Netflix, I probably will watch it at some point. Because it does look good. I was gonna watch it in cinemas, but I was just very busy at the time when it came out, and it's just one of those cases of like. I had that recently happen with Send Help as well. Like I wanted to watch it in cinemas. I booked it a bunch of times. I just couldn't find the time to go. Like it just worked out the way it worked out. But I I will give it a watch. Sorry, I think I froze. I'll definitely give this a watch, and I'll definitely give this a go. And I'm looking forward to watching it. And it seems like an interesting story and a powerful story. So I'll give it a go.
So to
In
be
two
fair,
years.
like the it's it's weird. There was a sort of a buzz around it, but there was never like that buzz where it's like you have to go out and watch it. So I'm not surprised you didn't watch it. Um, let's put it into the ranking. Obviously, I will be gentle because you haven't seen it, Sharek. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna try and shaft you. So at number one, currently we have Game Night. At two,
Yep.
we have Home Alone. Three or four, I'd have to look up. We have Nice Guys and Creed. I don't know in which order. Um, and at five, we have High School Musical 3.
Hmm.
Even as someone who loves this film, I can't put it above The Nice Guys. I would put it above Creed, but I know you wouldn't, Sherrick.
I can't put it above Creed.
Simon, would you?
I will put it. Where's Home Alone? I'll put it above Home Alone.
Hold on,
Home
second
Alone
though.
second.
Okay, I'll put it third. I'll put it third underneath Home Alone then. Yeah.
You're gonna put above
But then
Creed,
we've got, but then we have
Oh
Nice
yeah, of
Guys and
course.
Creed.
but you have to
That's
understand
no
with the
problem
way
to
the
me.
balance. Oh, he's doing this because of the Macario shit. That's why he's doing this now.
How
He's doing
I gave
he's
this
doing this
four.
because we
I gave this 4.5.
he's doing this because we put fucking Haruhi third. Oh my god, he can't be stopped. The brother can't be stopped. When it comes to
How
my
about
pick,
this?
don't worry, we'll sort this out.
How about this? Because we're in a constant state of flux. We'll move it. We'll do Game Night, Home Alone. We'll put Creed above Nice Guys, and then we'll put I Swear above Nice Guys as well.
All right then. Yeah.
Are we
I'm
all? Is
happy.
that,
I'm happy to be. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I think that's good.
As
yeah,
long as it's top five. As long as it's top five.
yeah. But because last week you guys didn't pick a film in my absence, Sherrick, do you want to pick another film?
I do. I was thinking
For
sort of
this
long and
week
hard about this pause, but I was thinking, long, hard, girthy, thick pause about this last week.
in the holy
No,
month of
guy,
Ramadan, you are something else.
save me. Sorry. Okay, the film that I'm thinking of is the 2010s classic. We've had the nice guys. How about we make some space for the other guys? You guys like what I did there? Guys like what I did there? Well, I think
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg's best performance. I think Will Ferrell's a living, breathing comedy god. I stand by that, and I think he's like Step Brothers, Anchorman, Talladega Nights. Like sometimes the films he's in aren't even the funniest, but like Zoolander 2 is not the best film in the world. I think he's fantastic as Zoolander 2. Like, and I like Zoolander 2. I don't hate no hate on Zoolander 2, but I just think he had like an imperial phase. They talk about the imperial phase when someone that can't be touched. And I feel like his imperial phase was definitely through the 2000s with like what was it? It was like back to
Step
back.
Brother
Yeah,
in the late, yeah,
Anchorman,
Anchorman, Step Brothers, all of that stuff.
No, your Talladega Nights before Step Brothers, Talladega Nights,
Oh yeah,
Step
yeah.
Brothers, and other guys back to back to back is one of the craziest runs of all time. Like that can't really be touched. And I know Adam McKay's last film was a piece of absolute sanctimonious shit, and it was so like horrendously bad, and it was so fuck. Don't look up, don't look at the screen when the shit's on. You know what I mean? It's fucking garbage. That shit was bad. I get it. I will say he had two or three killer jokes in there where I was like, oh, you still have it? You still have it? You're just an idiot. Like I get it. Climate change is it's a bad thing, and like all this stuff's happening is bad, but like, you don't have to just fucking shit on the people you're trying to reach your message out to, like you fucking stupid bastard. But anyway, back to the other guys. I think the other guys is a genuinely a good plot. I think it's a hilarious film. I think one of the most quotable films of all time. Like I said before, Mark Wahlberg's best performance. I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly. And he just keeps going. Peacocks don't fly. Ava Mendes in that film is hilarious, and she's a goat. She's got her own run with some other films that might come back up in here. But like, it's such a good Michael Keaton just constantly quoting TLC for no reason. Like it's one of the funny. The Rock and aim for the bushes, aim for the bushes.
Aim for the
There
bushes.
goes my hero. It's such a good movie. Well, one of my the one I knew was a classic all time when I was younger when I watched it. The scene where Mark Wahlberg goes up to him and he goes, I'm a lion and you're a fish, you're a little tuna, and he goes, and he goes, lions eat fish. He goes, well, if you come to me underwater, because now you're on my turf and we swim in schools, and now we got a
We've
taste.
developed a breathing apparatus.
Yeah, and he goes, and now we developed a taste for lion. He goes, now all we do is fucking eat lion. And he goes, Galen needs his juice, bitch.
I feel like the
Uh,
fact we could just sit here for at least 10 minutes just quoting random lines from it is a testament to how good that
the most
film
underrated lion. He goes, yeah, we got to throw some LRB on right now. What? Little River Band, and he goes, reminiscing.
is. We
You
should
got
call
what?
ourselves the Febreze Brothers because we're so fresh right now.
He goes, Dirty Mike and the boys, and he goes, we came over there, and we came over there, we came over there. We came over... Well, one of the best scenes is when they go to see that warehouse, and the fucking explosion happens. He goes, how do they do this in the movie? Rolling on the floor. Or when they're fighting at the funeral, like in the corner at the funeral.
Are they whispering?
Yeah, they're like, "Fuck, bitch." It's
I
such a
feel
good,
like
it's a good film.
every time you was about to move on, then you remembered something else
It
about what you loved about the film.
it's eternally like that's what you hear in this dance studio turning tricks. And she goes, "It's ballet." And he goes, "Huh? On this pole with your Russian pimp? His name's Steve."
When he learned to like he
He
learned
goes,
ballet to
he,
bully
he goes,
people
he goes. You think I
ironically.
don't know my Baryshnikov? He goes, we learned it to make fun of all the gay kids in class. Oh, but I think yeah, other guys is just like I want to make sure we got some good comedy representation. Obviously, I know we had game night last time as well, but I feel like I can't not have a Will Ferrell in there. And you know what? I might do all three at some point. I might do Step Brothers and Talladega Nights as well. But this is an A1 film. I want to start with the other guys. I think is Mark Wahlberg should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actor in this one. I tell you,
I'm gonna hazard a guess that there's not going to be many comedies in the Letterboxd 250 list. So it's probably best that we represent them on our list.
yeah, because I think comedies are harder than dramas. Like it's harder to make somebody laugh than to you know what I mean to manipulate their emotions.
Yeah,
But
that's a very good point.
do you remember your favorite comedy, Kyle? A Clockwork Orange.
Oh God,
Yeah, you were
I'm
you
sure
were
we'll get to that at some
you were
point.
howling, you were howling through that film.
You see how Shark talks about the film from the past with such passion. And then he says that he's going to talk the same about the film from 2025. It's not going to happen, mate.
Oh,
Not going to happen, mate.
listen, it's happening because you're gonna see it, guys. Our next After Dark that's
Not
coming
going to
up, we're
happen,
gonna
mate.
finally answer the age-old debate that me and Simon are going to civil war. Kyle will decide who's right or wrong, I guess. We're gonna present the arguments and listen. We're gonna decide once and for all: was 2025 a good year for films? But before we do that, Kyle, I'm sorry, I've got ahead of myself. The other guys, where are we putting it in the ranking?
Where are we? So, like I said, one's game night. I don't think that should move.
No, I don't think it'll be game night.
Two, two's Home Alone.
I
I
think
don't
this is
think
better than
that
Home
should
Alone.
move.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Simon.
Yeah, no. Home Alone's still better than this. Sorry.
So three's Creed. I would put this above Creed.
I'd put it above Creed.
Yeah, I'm very partial to Creed 3, so I'm sorry, man. Yeah, this is going above Creed as well for me.
Yeah, I'd put this above Creed.
Sarek.
Nah, I'd put this above Creed.
So, just to summarize, number one, we have Game Night. Number two, we have Home Alone. Number three, we have The Other Guys. Four is now Creed. Five is I Swear. Six is The Nice Guys. And at seven is High School Musical 3. Are we all happy with that list?
Yeah, I'm happy
Yep.
with that list. Well, guys,
Sherrick, you want to
yeah,
start us
oh, I was about to, but you so really fucking interrupted me. Huh? I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
off?
Okay, no, sorry. So, guys, that's been another episode of the CineLads Letterboxd 250 podcast. Anime fans, me and Kyle stand with you. If you've got any hate directed to Simon directly, please. Or if it's funny, send it to us and we'll read it as a question on one after dark, maybe. I don't know. We'll figure that we'll figure that part out. Next week we're doing 2007's 4 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days. And yeah, guys, I don't know what else to say apart from glee glee. Da, 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 da. I can't remember the song. That sounds racist as hell. Anyway, bye.